What's up? What's up? What's up, my friends? It's your girl, Jana Brown here, your mentor for winning in wellness, wealth, and walking by faith. I help women who feel like they've just failed in business or they're stuck in their life to just reclaim their confidence and income by building an online business that align with their purpose with God along their side. So really excited to chat with you about this topic. Oh man, I got a message from someone yesterday who told me that he has tried so many things and it's just not worked. And I've actually been hearing this for a long time. Jana, I failed. I'm not good at that. This doesn't work for me. I have heard it over and over and over and over and over again. And in my mind, I didn't want to say what I'm going to say today. In my mind, I didn't want to say it because, I don't know why. I just feel like there's some roadblocks that people have that you just can't overcome in one conversation. But I feel like today I could give breakthrough to those of you out there who have said that before. Maybe you're still in a place where there's this glimmer of hope where you're like, you know what? I think I want to try again, but you're possibly super scared of failing one more time. And so this is for those of you who have tried so many things in the past and they just never worked. But there's part of you, like I said, that's like, you know what, man, if I could just get to that place, I know my life would change. You want your life to change so bad, but there's still these roadblocks. And that's what I'm going to help you with today. And I'm so excited to help you. But really quick, if you're catching me live, please put a flame in the comments. And if this is the replay for you, put a purple heart down below. And let's talk about the 5 reasons why you have failed in the past. And I'm telling you, I'm not just going to give you the 5 reasons why, but I'm also going to give you the shifts that you need so that you will never fail again. Maybe perhaps you're already in a business right now and you're frustrated, you're discouraged, and you feel like you're not having success at the moment. This is for you too. Okay. So if you're ready, drop ready below and let's get right into it. First and foremost, the reason why your business failed in the past is because there are lies that you believed. What I have come to learn is that most of the time, it's not the business or the product that's the problem. Keep it at 100. You may not like it, but it's this right here. It's your own mind. And you have believed lies. Number 1 lie that you possibly believed is that you're never going to make it. And you've told yourself, I'm just going to try. But if you say you're going to try, you've already failed before you started. Because look, okay, I'm going to paint a picture for you. Am I picking this mouse up or am I not? Trying is an act of doing. There's only one way to pick it up. Am I right? So I'm either doing it or I'm not. There's nothing in my way. I'm either doing it or I'm not. So when people say I'll try it, it's typically because there's a lie that they believe about themselves. Because it's easy. I mean, just right. And so when a business or company has systems in place and great products, right? Positive people, all the ingredients of success, it's typically a lack of belief in yourself. There's a lie that you believe in yourself. It's not that the product doesn't work. It's not that the system doesn't work. You believed the lie that you couldn't do it. Or perhaps you believed that it would be easy. Perhaps you believed that you could just post and pray and someone would buy. Perhaps you believed that, that field of dreams mantra that, once you build it, they'll come like, oh, once I join and I do one post, I'm just going to have success. So you've got to also have very realistic expectations. That's how you fix it. You fix it. The number one way you can fix the lie that you can't do it is by understanding that a proven system, if you see hundreds and thousands of people with success in this thing, if you see that and you know that they're all following the same system, that's where your confidence and belief should come from. And it comes from also action. But I have to say, I am so sorry to all of you who believed that it would be easy. Because building a business is not easy and it's not for everyone. It's simple because we have everything in place. We have a proven system. We have a step-by-step process. We've got trainings. We've got all the things, but that doesn't make it easy. Am I making sense? You have to choose mentors who will tell you the truth and give you the roadmap. I'm telling you, I feel like there are so many people out there who, they're just being misled. Now, I've been involved in a few things, and I will tell you, what I have my hands on is the most simple thing I've ever seen. But there's a lot of caveats, right? There's your credibility. There's your consistency, right? There's how you show up. There's your willingness to be teachable and coachable. There are a lot of factors that come into play, no matter how simple the business may be. But at the end of the day, you got to stop believing lies about yourself and be really, really realistic about this journey. Okay? Simple doesn't mean effortless, right? Simple doesn't mean effortless. As the saying goes, right? If you like no pain, no gain, right? Or, you've got to plow, you've got to sow the seeds, and you might reap a harvest tomorrow. You might reap a harvest, in 90 days. I tell my team, listen, you cannot base your success on whether or not a piece of content gets any traction. You can't. And so many do. I'm discouraged. Every week you're discouraged. And if you're discouraged every single week, it's typically because you have unrealistic expectations, or you're not taking action, or you're not following the plan. So number two, that leads me into number two, reason why you have failed in the past. You doubted yourself, which is really tied into number one about the lies you believe. Number two, you doubted yourself, or you didn't have 100% faith in the product. And because you based your success on whether or not your first post, first reel, first whatever got any traction, you then felt like you weren't cut out for it. What helped me take $70 and turn it into the life that I have now? Listen, and I never set out to be rich. I just wanted some flexibility. I wanted to be a flexible mom. I wanted to be able to decide how I was going to run my day every day. And I didn't want to be up under anybody's thumb. But what helped me so much was knowing, and this is a truth, this is a reality, this isn't a myth, this isn't a maybe, this isn't a hope so, this isn't a only works if you are this, that, and the third. No, this is a hard truth that you can stand on. Okay? When you see other people have success, I was seeing other people have success, and we were all following the same system. I said this a few minutes ago, but I want you to believe that if I can do it, you can do it. Right? Now, you may doubt yourself sometimes, but don't doubt the system that's already been proven to work. Now, if you doubt your product, probably shouldn't. Now, if you doubt your product, you're not going to take action in the first place. So you have to, you got to really believe in what your product is, no matter what it is. You have to believe in your product. But if you feel like you weren't cut out for it, it's typically because you're basing your success on whether or not your mom said yes, your dad said yes, whether or not this post got a comment, honey, there's too many factors that play into whether or not your post gets any action, whether or not, people respond to you. There's too many caveats, okay? And I tell my team this all the time. There are 4 stages to a buyer. You know what? And I didn't see this anywhere. I just kind of came to this conclusion in my journey. I've been doing this for 13 years. And what I've noticed is that people, number 1, they will be curious. Number 2, they will be interested. Number 3, they will be considering. And then number 4 is when they will actually begin to purchase whatever it is you have to offer. There are 4 stages. You can't expect to do one post and everybody just buy off the bat. It's great when it does happen. It's happened to me one time. Not everybody bought, but a lot of people did. One time. Come on, 13 years I've been doing this. You've also, another reason why your business has failed in the past is because you've questioned if anyone would actually care. So you come to the table with doubt and lies from the very beginning. And if that's the case, you probably haven't even lasted 1 month. I would dare to guess that if you've tried multiple things in the past and have failed, I'm almost positive you didn't even last 30 days. Am I right? Because like I said a few minutes ago, no matter how great your business is, no matter how great your system is, no matter how amazing your mentors are, if you believe lies about yourself, if you've got unrealistic expectations, and you come to the table with a lot of doubt, odds are you've already failed before you started. So how do you fix this? How do you fix the doubt in yourself? How do you fix the lies that you believe? Well, number 1, like I said, get honest about your expectations. Make sure you partner with someone who's going to keep it 100 with you. And you have to build your confidence through consistent action. What bothers me so much about some people is they wait for the confidence before they take action. And that's not how this works. That's not how it works. Your confidence comes after the action. So you have to understand right now, okay, as we're having this conversation right now, you have to embrace the reality that you have to grow into the income that you want to earn. You have to grow into it. What does that mean? That means that you have to learn the skills. You've got to learn specific skills. You've got to be willing to mess up before you get blessed up, okay? I look back at my journey in this industry, and there are some things I've done in the past. I'm like, oh, Jana, but I didn't quit. Why? Because and I'm going to keep going back to this. When you see other people have success following a system, then you have to be able to believe that you can too. Because again, a system is not biased. It's not racist. It doesn't have favorites. It's not partial. A system is a system, no matter who you are, no matter a former friend, former mentor said, whether you're from Yale or jail, a system works. 1+1 will always equal 2. 2 times 2 will always equal 4. Am I right or am I right? Okay. How to also fix doubt when you doubt yourself. Okay. You have to really get aligned with a mission or product that lights you up from the inside. I would really caution against starting a business because your best friend is doing it, or because, you were convinced, or, because you were pressured, right? Like, you want to make sure, like, this is a life-changing decision. Why did I join my business back in 2012? Because I wholeheartedly believe that God was calling me too, but I also really trusted who was sharing with me. And she was attached to a mentor that had massive success. And because of that, I could put my confidence in that, number one. Number two, I sampled the product and it worked like instantly. And then number three, I told my sister about it, and my sister, she believed in it as well. So I had some ingredients that caused me to take action. I don't want you to start a business because it's free to join, or, there's all these perks, and all that is great and good, right? I mean, it's free to start 2 of the businesses that I have. That's an awesome perk, right? But if that's the only reason you're joining, you're not going to work it. You're not, there has to be that desire for your life to change. And honestly, if your desire for your life to change is strong enough, nothing else matters. Nothing else matters. I wanted so bad for my life to change. I was so sick of borrowing money from my parents to take care of my kids. I was so sick of, having to look my kids in the face and shove them in a daycare room because I had to work. Like, I was so sick of getting them off the bus and then driving to a gym and putting them in like, I was so sick of not being able to go to Chuck E. Cheese. Nothing else mattered. I didn't care about anything else but change. I was like, I've got this. I don't have any other solution. I had $70 to my name. Network marketing was the greatest thing I had ever seen in 2012. I had never seen an opportunity where someone like me with a criminal record, no college education, no following, no nothing, no network, could literally start a business with $70 and turn it into a complete life of freedom. I am not rich by any means, but I wake up every day with my time to do as I wish and no debt, because I wanted my life to change so bad. And when you want your life to change so bad, you will succeed by any means necessary. By any means necessary. And so when I sat with my mentor back in 2012 and I was asked the question, what does life look like if you don't take action a year from now, 5 years from now? What is your life going to look like? I'm like, oh my gosh, probably the same, if not worse. And so all that to say, I didn't have time to even believe in any lies. Honestly, I didn't have lies. Now, along the way, I'll be honest, along the way, I started to have some shifts in my mindset. But, this was after I had quit my job. This is after I had come home, work from home. This is kind of after all of that. There is some doubts and stuff like that. Now there's none. And that's another story. But you have to truly get into action, my friend. And if you saw my reel earlier today, I talked about, or on my YouTube rather, I talked about action. You've got to take action. You've got to take action. Okay. So number 3, this is the number 3 reason why you failed in the past, is you either didn't have a plan or you didn't follow the plan. Either you didn't have a plan or you didn't follow the plan. And again, I'm going to say it like this. Anytime I have a business partner say to me, I'm discouraged, I ask, are you following the daily plan? Are you following the daily plan? You can't be discouraged if you're following the plan. I mean, literally, with our plan, you get what to do every single day. It's an easy step by step what to do every single day. And as long as you go to bed at night knowing you're doing it, what's the problem? So you've got to make sure that that you're following the plan and that you're not operating in survival mode. You definitely don't want to posture yourself as desperate. And you have to be willing to stick with the strategy and the plan in place. You have to be willing to stick with that every day. You can't be discouraged at your paycheck if you haven't been following the plan. That's like if I said, okay, what's 1 + 1? And you said 3 and got mad because it's 3. Well, you didn't add the numbers correctly, right? So you have to stick with it long enough. Okay, so this is going to be for you who maybe perhaps you are following the plan, but you're not seeing the result yet. Okay? You have to remember that you're building a brand. Like, you have to remember that you're building credibility. You're building and you're warming up your audience to something new. If perhaps they've never seen you in a certain space. Like, for example, if you're promoting wellness products, that might be something that your audience hasn't seen you do before. Okay? If you're promoting makeup and you never wore makeup, it might take a little bit for them to really see. Now, you are going to have your warm market. These are people that like, know, and trust you, and they will probably buy from you quicker than anyone else. Okay? But either way, regardless, you've got to have that long-term mindset. And that brings me into reason number 4, why your business has failed in the past is because you didn't think long-term. You quit when you didn't see quick wins. Now, my job, my goal is to help you get paid in 7 days or less. I'm like, 7 days or less, we've got to get you paid as fast as possible. Okay? As fast as possible. Another reason why you probably, haven't been successful, aside from like not thinking long term, is like you keep just chasing like shiny objects and you're treating it like a hobby instead of a calling. You're treating what you're doing like a hobby instead of a calling. You have to remember what I said earlier when I was sharing my story. I knew I was called to this. I knew there was an anointing on this space for me. I knew that instantly. And I remember telling my mentor, I'm like, man, I feel the hand of God on me in this industry. It's no wonder I came back after I left. So you've got to believe that this is a business. This is not a game. This is not a hobby. Now listen, if you want to make a couple $100 a month, it can be a hobby. You can do that very hobby level, but if you work it like a business, it will treat you like a business. So you've got to play the long game. You've got to give it a full year of real effort. And that, man, I don't know how long it would take for you to replace your income at your job, or if that's even a goal for you. But for me, it took 11 months. And I will be straight up honest with you. It was every weekend, every night. It was every waking moment that I had free time. I was working this thing. And guess what? A year is going to go by whether you do this or not. But my question to you is, how long have you been wanting your life to change? How long have you been thinking about doing something? How long have you been thinking about feeling better, fixing your bank account, right? getting right with God, whatever the case may be. How long have you been thinking about doing that? And then imagine where your life would be if you had started back then. Time is going to go by anyway, but if you follow me long enough, and if you've been following me long enough, you'll know I'm like very action oriented. I'm like, let's freaking go. Quit talking about it. Let's be about it. And if you've been dragging your butt on starting a business, getting in shape, getting right with Jesus, all the things, I'm like, my friend, where would you be if you had started when you first had those desires? Like, why are we waiting any longer? Let's go. Let's go. Right? But you got to have that long-term mindset. Like I just said, you can't believe lies about yourself, because if you feel called to it, God will equip you through it. Can I get an amen? Let's establish some truths again. Okay. I'm going to rewind a little bit and just remind you, this is not going to be easy. It's simple, but it's not easy. You need to follow the strategy. Not everyone is going to say yes to you. You've got to follow the strategy, and you have to borrow other people's success. If you see other people winning, just know that you can too. If you just stick and stay and be consistent. If you doubt yourself, it's probably because you're not in action, or you didn't believe in what you had to offer. But don't try and do it alone, okay? That's my fifth reason why you've probably failed in the past in your business, is because you went rogue, you went and did it by yourself, you weren't communicating with your leadership and your mentors, or maybe perhaps you just joined a really crappy company that didn't have any support or community and no one to really stretch you when you needed it. So perhaps you're already in a company right now and you're struggling. Well, get plugged in. Get plugged in. You've got to stay connected. You have to stay connected. You're not meant to do this by yourself. You've got to surround yourself with people who truly want to see you win. You've got to be coachable and teachable. Show up. If your mentors are having something on the calendar, do your best to show up. Because like I said earlier, whatever income level you want to achieve, my friend, you've got to grow into that person. Your income will never outgrow your personal development. So you've got to perfect your skills. You've got to, really learn how to communicate with your audience about what you have to offer. And this is just a bonus tip. Okay. I didn't have this in my notes. Hey, Tiffany. Yes. Okay. Listen, I did not have this in my notes. This is a bonus, and I'm probably going to come at you with a bunch of bonuses right now because I feel it like just stirring in me. And this is something that frustrated me for a long time. Okay. So if you're frustrated, this is probably going to help you too. But and I want you to put this in the chat. If you try to sell to everyone, you will sell to no one. I think one of the biggest mistakes that people make when they start an online business, whether it be network marketing, digital marketing, whatever kind of marketing, because they have this fear of loss mentality or this like spirit of desperation, they just try to sell to everyone. And there's not a clear message about what your purpose is and who you're trying to attract. What is your purpose? What is your mission? Okay. For me, it's very, very clear. I am your mentor for helping you win in wellness and wealth and walking by faith. I help women who feel like they're stuck in life, in spirit, in bank account, in body. And I help them reclaim their confidence and income by building an online business with God by their side. That is what I do. And so if you follow my content, you're going to see like I'm speaking to women. I'm speaking specifically to women my age. I'm speaking specifically. Go watch some of my stuff. Right? So you've got to be crystal clear on who are you trying to attract. And it's not that hard to figure out. It's really not. It's typically you. It's typically you. Who are you speaking to in your content? You're speaking to the former Tiffany, right? The former Jana was broke. The former Jana was, not walking in victory at all. The former Jana, her hair was falling out. Her body was turning to mush, right? So I'm trying to help women come out of that like I have. Come out of the place where you've got no fulfillment in your professional life. You're bored out of your mind at your job. You're sick and tired of being overworked and underpaid. And you're tired of not walking in victory. Because what I know is that if I can help you get breakthrough in your spiritual life, you'll have breakthrough in every other area as well. So anyway, but the reason I share all that with you is because I want you to hear and see how crystal clear I am in my message and my purpose. And it may take you a little bit of time to get your flow in that, but you will. You've got to learn how to share your story. How do I craft my story? This is something I teach my team all the time. You've got to learn how to share your story, because for me, it's not about how amazing my product is. It's about how it's changed my life, right? It's about the problem that your product or service can solve. That's what it's about. Okay. And what happens is so many people join their business, and the reason they quit and get discouraged and doubt themselves and believe lies that they can't do it is because they're pushing the product, and they put flyers all over their social media, and they're like, no one's buying, because flyers don't move people. Bonus tip number 2, you've got to connect with people on an emotional level. Okay. You got to connect on an emotional level. So let's just say I'm like, oh my gosh, girl, listen, I've got the best system in place. We have the best product that's in high demand. We have a system that works. We have the best mentorship. Although that might be true, but if that's all I was communicating, but what if I said, listen, friend, I found a way to where you don't have to bring your calculator to the grocery store anymore. I found a way for you to have more time with your family without sacrificing your dollars. Excuse me, I got allergies, something. I found a way for you to be able to sleep at night peacefully and not go to bed stressed and worried about how you're going to pay your bills. What's more powerful? What's more powerful? That or all of my amazing perks to the business? You see what I'm saying? That's a bonus tip to really help you elevate your business. Whether you're, considering a business, or you're in a business right now, or you're in one and you're discouraged, wherever you are in your business. In fact, let me know in the comments. Are you in business right now? Are you considering joining an online business? All right. And if you're in business right now, are you happy or are you discouraged? Where are you at? I'm just curious to know. Because, man, let me tell you, I'm 43 years old, my friend. And if you are anywhere near my age, we have a long time left here on this planet, Lord willing. And I just refuse to spend it miserable. I refuse to spend it broke. I refuse to spend it walking around in chains. And I don't believe the Lord put us here to live that way. If he said we could have an abundant life, then I want to live that abundant life. But what I've come to realize is that if we're not walking in abundance and victory, it's typically because of our own self-sabotage and not intentional. Not intentional. This right here between your two ears, this is what we need to overcome. This right here. This right here. Because everything you think about, all of your thoughts will govern your behavior. So the reason your business failed, I highly doubt it had anything to do with anything else aside from what was going on inside your brain. It could have. Maybe you did have crappy leadership. Maybe the products were overpriced and they didn't work. I don't know. But most of the time, it's here. But I come to tell you, my friend, that if you take action, okay, and you're consistent and you stay very close to your mentors, I promise you, you will have success. There's no, and you follow the system, there's no reason why you can't. I did. And like I said, I showed up to the table with no money, no network, no resume, no following, no skills, toe up from the flow up. Don't compare my chapter 15 to your chapter 1. If you could go back and see my very first live video, oh my God, I would encourage you so much. It was awful. Right? If you could go back and watch how I treated people when they didn't say yes right away, you'd be appalled. You would be appalled. So if you're willing to embrace the fact, the reality that you have to grow into the income that you want, and you're willing to grow through it, as difficult as that may be, as frustrating as that may be at times, there's no limit to what you can accomplish here with your business. There's no limit. There's no limit. So I am so grateful that you hung out with me and watched this. I hope that it really fired you up. I hope that you have more hope than you did before. I hope that you take action in business. If you're looking for a business, I'd love to share, what I've got going on. But either way, I just want to see you have victory and breakthrough in your life, because what I know, and this is I'm not putting down people with 9-to-5s or whatever, but what I know is that it's very, very difficult, if not impossible, for you to become all that God has called you to become stuck at a job. Stuck at a job. The reason why you're at a job right now, but your mind and your heart is with your family, or is just like dreaming of retirement, is because you're not meant to sit still. You're not meant to be there. You're not meant to. That's why you keep looking at businesses. That's why you keep trying things, because deep down inside, you're called for more. And you know that you need more time and money to help you do all that God has called you to do. So with that, I will leave you. If you got value from this, please drop the word value in the comments, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.